So something about this drawing is just kind of off, and there's a reason for that. I purposely made the same mistake over and over again to show you what I mean. And it's a mistake that artists tend to make and they're unaware of or don't even know about it. And that's what I'm going to talk about today in this video. What's up and welcome to my channel. I'm Delilah and I'm a digital artist. So the mistake that I made on purpose over and over again is called an art tangent. If you were to just look up tangent, you would start seeing things with geometry and whatever else, but art tangents are different. So according to Google, an art tangent is when two objects in a composition touch or nearly touch but don't overlap, creating a visual ambiguity or a kissing effect that can be distracting or confusing for the viewer. So basically, it's when two lines or objects in the drawing either touch or they almost touch instead of overlapping or missing each other entirely. Now, the reason why this causes confusion is because that means that these two lines or these two objects are fighting for your attention, and it's hard to tell which one you should be looking at. It also makes it harder to define the areas of space. Now, what the heck is areas of space? I'll tell you about that too. It's basically referring to the foreground, midground, and background in a composition. Here's a picture of Central Park, or at least part of it, that I'm going to use to show an example of what areas of space are. So the foreground is the part that is closest to you when you're looking at the picture. The background is, of course, all the way in the back. And then the midground is everything in between. So if you have things that are touching each other in a drawing, you're not sure where it's going to be in a drawing. And so it makes it hard to tell what's really going on. And the last thing you want to do is to confuse people when they're looking at your art. You want them to know exactly what they're looking at. So how do you fix this? It's actually pretty simple. The best way is to just shift things around, even if it's ever so slightly, and experiment and make sure that nothing is kissing or nearly touching each other. So going back to the drawing that I showed you in the beginning, this is how I fixed it. I started by shifting down the vase with the flowers, and I also moved it a little bit to the left because it was touching the edge of the table. I also shifted the cup and the saucer so that it overlapped with the vase a little bit more, and I shifted it down so that they're not all sitting on the same level. Then I went back and I erased any extra lines that I didn't need, so any that were in the flower petals, for example, and I also added any lines that I did need, which is where the flower petals were covering in the first place. And after I did all of that, the composition was complete, and I was able to get rid of every single tangent. Just be very careful when you're shifting things around because it's very easy for you to get rid of a tangent and accidentally make one in the process. So just look at all of the lines as you move things around. So here's the before and here's the after. I feel like the composition is much stronger with the after than with the before. With the before, it was just kind of giving me a headache. So anytime you're drawing something, whether it's a bunch of doodles or it's this great big masterpiece, just pay very close attention to any tangents that may appear because believe me, it's really easy to make this mistake. Even now, being aware of it, I make that mistake all the time, and I always have to go back and look at my drawings and make sure that there aren't any hidden tangents anywhere. Thank you very much for watching my video. Hopefully it was really helpful. I actually didn't learn about art tangents until I was in grad school, which is kind of crazy that I went all that time not knowing what an art tangent was. And I still see this mistake being done by professional artists. So, just be very careful and be very aware and, demure and mindful. I'm just kidding. Just had to say it. Sorry. But thanks again for watching my video. All right. Bye. Yep. My ring light died. That's great. Oh well, show must go on. I had to improvise because my ring light died, so I'm using a lantern as my light. See? Isn't it pretty? You do what you gotta do. So first why can't you focus on me? We're here. Stop looking. No. And then I shifted why do you keep zooming in and out? Just look at me. On the vase with the flowers. And then you keep zooming in and out. Is it because of my hair? Shifting down the flowers and the vase. What you really want to happen is either for them to overlap or for them to miss them to the point where there were no any tangents. When there were no any tangents. Oh my god, I'm so thirsty. It's so hot today. Stay hydrated, folks. There's the spot. The heat is making me fail.